Hello everyone, welcome to my channel BonG Media 24. Welcome to Update New Gossip. Former teen mom living on the couple's boat, ex-boyfriend David Eason of Janelle Evans looked irate when he received a summons for a domestic violence protective order. David, 35, was served on Tuesday by local sheriff's deputies on two distinct North Carolina cases brought against him by his estranged wife, Jenelle, 32, according to images and videos that were exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun. As he spoke to the two armed deputies standing on the pier next to the boat he has been living on for the previous 2 months, David was seen on the video thrashing his arms and shrugging his shoulders. A person with knowledge of the cases claims that David received notice of Janelle's request for a separation as well as a domestic abuse complaint. Order for protection against violence. According to the source, Jenelle has requested a hearing to obtain a civil no-contact order after her prior request for an emergency protection order was turned down. According to the source, part of the reason Janelle's first emergency request was turned down was because Jace already had an order of protection against David. Thus, this one would not be considered emergent. According to the source, one of the reasons Jenelle filed for this domestic violence restraining order was because her ex-husband, David, is accused of committing a felony, attacked Janelle's 14-year-old son Jace in September, and refused to follow a no-contact order. Janelle also charges David of acting in an intimidating manner. The root of the issue is David's resistance to following some clauses in that felony, Jace's no-contact order, and his harassing actions. It's called a domestic violence protective order by statute, but it's essentially a no-contact order, and the basis of hers is due to harassing behavior, said the insider. Both sides will have the chance to offer arguments and supporting documentation during the hearing. After that, a court will decide whether or not there are good reasons to issue the order. One of the determining factors is whether or not Jenelle feels A, that she or any of the children that reside with her primarily are in fear of the substantial risk of bodily injury, or B, be in fear of continued harassment as alleged in the complaint. They stated. Around 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the two sheriff's deputies who were serving David at his boat seemed to go over the papers with him and go through their own copies before explaining what they were serving him. David took to TikTok right away after the tragedy to share his thoughts on what had happened. David informed his TikTok fans that Jenelle attempted to seek for a restraining order. She objects to me discussing her private matters. He remarked cynically, "Well, guess what? You made that decision for yourself." In addition, he pledged to challenge her motion in court. "I'm bringing all the information, honey, when we get to the courthouse," he continued. "I'm bringing all the receipts, and you ain't getting no refund." As the U.S. Sun had earlier, meanwhile, a source stated that David was only intended to stay on the boat for a few weeks while he and Jenelle worked out the terms of Janelle's oldest son, Jace, following the CPS's dismissal of their case. Jenelle reclaimed custody of Jace in the middle of February, after the teenager was taken by CPS due to his claims that David had strangled him. After an altercation in September 2023, David was charged with felony violence by strangulation, and a stay-away order was placed against him for Jace. Because of this, even after Jenelle was granted custody back from CPS, he and Jace were unable to live together. Jenelle had to determine David's next step when the Child Welfare Department dropped its case against the pair. Remain while the situation was resolved. That ultimately didn't happen, the insider claims, because Jenelle became envious when David uploaded videos of himself drinking at a bar with a woman, possibly the bartender, in the background. Jenelle included everything from David's 2019 admitted murder of their pet dog Nugget to his current felony accusation of strangling her son in her separation complaint. After a CPS investigation into both instances, she briefly lost custody of some or all of her children. She also asked for full custody of their 7-year-old daughter Ensley in her plea. Before David sees Ensley, Jenelle wants the courts to assess David's mental health. It serves the minor child's best interests. In her lawsuit, Janelle requested that the plaintiff receive primary physical custody of the minor child and that the defendant's visitation and / or custodial time be contingent upon the results of a mental health evaluation to verify his suitability and capacity to care for the child. Janelle filed a complaint against David on Tuesday, claiming that his history of erratic behavior and substance abuse made it difficult for him to manage Ensley. Janelle claimed in the explosive papers that David's excessive alcohol use and his short temper create a negative environment for the minor child. And as a family, plaintiff feels as though they have to walk on eggshells around defendant, as his mood swings are unpredictable and vary in their intensity. This gossip is over. Please don't forget to subscribe to YouTube channel BonG Media 24. Thank you very much.